Hopefully. I think I am. I really think, I don't know. This thing wasn't working a minute ago, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm back with a very special or very different Otako Tuesday. Usually my kid brother joins me, but today I'm gonna do it solo because he's away in Yosemite and he sucks. But anyway, I'm doing a Taco Tuesday about a manga that I recently read and which the ending sucked, and so I'm gonna break it down why. But don't worry, I'll let you know. I'll break down the story. I will do it really quickly, a quick summary, and then you'll let me know if you think it sucks or not. So let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
So I was late today. I know I'm late today. I had a kind of an important phone call, a biggie, and so I can't exactly say what it was yet. But let's just say big changes are on the horizon, and by big changes I mean pretty big changes, significant ones, and quite a lot of them. So I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I'll let you know how that goes. I'll keep you updated. But within the next month, I think in less than a month, there will be quite a few changes here, and quite a lot of them. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for all this stuff. I'll keep you posted. There's a bunch of stuff that I can't say yet, but when I'm able to do so, I will so. So there you go, in case you cared. Let's get into this. I have the open here. I keep forgetting about the open. So we're gonna do a little bit of Otako Tuesday, I guess. Nope, not yet. Before we get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World, streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. ish. Kind of, that's where I am for. Eventually, I'll get there. Hopefully, I'll get there. If not, you can check out the video afterwards. Subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out. I really appreciate it. And so let's get into this. So let's begin with Otako Tuesday. We will be breaking down the manga Blue Flag. So here we go.
NANI?
Otako Tuesday.
So if you've never heard of this particular manga, it doesn't matter, and I'll give you a quick breakdown. I was really upset by its ending, and I mean really upset, because I don't know why I've had this really bad streak where I've just been reading or watching a bunch of stuff where the endings just suck. And I mean suck, and I have an issue with letting go of stuff. And so, you know what? Then I decided, you know what? I have a show, and I'm gonna rant about it. So hopefully, if you read this, hopefully you agree with me. If you don't, well then let me know why. But so here's the summary of the story, and this is going to be all spoilers, pretty much. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Okay, so. Manga is about... the reason why I started reading this is because I have a habit of... my kid brother says I like reading crap. Or I enjoy crap. Or I enjoy bad stuff. Which is fair. I understand it. I have... Sometimes I just want to turn my brain off and read something silly and ridiculous. And this seemed like a slice of life in a teen drama. And I was like, hey, you know, that seems like a good place to start. Because I enjoy both of those things. So I'll check it out. And it was recommended by somebody. And so, okay, all right, decided to give it a shot. It was two key things. One, it wasn't extremely long. And two, it was finished. So it's okay. I don't want to, again, I've been burned a lot lately. And so it's like, I don't want to be in something for a really long time and have to wait a couple of weeks till they release the next chapter or whatever. And then be like, son of a bitch, this thing sucked. It was a huge waste of my time and really pissed me off. There's one in particular that really pissed me off. And I'll do another show about it eventually. I have a lot to say about it. I know. I don't know how I could do it because I would want to go through the whole fucking thing and just rag on it, but it doesn't matter. So this one's kind of a short one. So here's the story. I'll break it down as easily as I can or as simply as I can. So this is the story about a dude named Taichi and his best friend. Let me see if Toma, I think that's how you say it, and the girl he likes, Futaba. All right, so that's kind of what it's about. Those are the three main characters. There's obviously other characters, but they're not really as relevant as those three. Those are the three main characters. Now, this is very important. I'm terrible with names. And so, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to call him the guy, his best friend, and the girl. So that's how I'm going to refer to them, because I'll probably just forget their names. Honestly, I will forget their names. I'm terrible with names. Anyway, so this is a story about Taishi, and Taishi's kind of like a shorter dude, and his former best friend from childhood, Toma, is let's stick to Taichi. Taichi, he's kind of like a loser dude. He's like a whatever, an in-betweener. He's not popular. He's not hated by everybody. He's just like a normal dude, but he kind of flies under the radar, and that's not a pun on the fact that he's really short, but whatever. You know what? Yeah. It's a joke on that. Anyway, so Taichi likes to fly under the radar, normal dude. Then he has a former best friend from childhood named Toma. Now Toma, he's like the star athlete of the school. He's a tall guy. He's like a handsome dude. He's a Chad. Everybody loves him. Like everybody wants to be his friend, and he's extremely popular. And for reasons of feeling insecure or whatever, Taichi kind of hasn't been as good a friend with Toma lately, but they're still friends. They're still friendly. And Futaba is a girl who is, I guess I could put you a picture of everybody so you can see. And Futaba is a girl who has a crush on Tome. All right. So let me see if I do this here. So Tome is the best friend. Let me see. Where is he? There you go. This is the main character, Taichi. And this is Futaba, the girl that he likes. Anyway, so she has a crush on the best friend. You know, because again, he's a popular dude. He's the jock. He's like tall and everything. And so she asks Taishi for help with getting Toba to like him. And so Taichi is like, I know this is not going to go well because she's clearly not his type, because he kind of has an idea of who his type is, or at least based on what he's told him before. But he decides, you know what, I'll help you out. And as you can imagine, in the process of helping the girl out, he kind of starts developing some feelings, those pesky, annoying feelings, and he starts liking the girl and stuff like that. And he's like, no, I can't like this girl. She's in love with my friend, and like my best friend. And so far, normal stuff, right? Nothing crazy. Here's the twist, and here's the thing that makes it kind of different. It's not that original, by the way. I've read and seen, I've read in manga and I've seen an anime that kind of already does this, but whatever. This is its own particular twist. The best friend Toma is actually in love with Taishi too. So here's kind of how this goes. So Taishi gets approached by the girl to help her to help her get together with the best friend, except the best friend is secretly in love with Taishi, or former best friend is secretly in love with Taishi. So it leads to a very interesting situation where the guy is trying to help the girl. The guy's trying to help the girl that he starts developing feelings for to get together with his former best friend, while his former best friend realizes that the former best friend realizes that he has feelings for the girl, so he's trying to help him get together with her, while at the same time having deep feelings for the guy. So, as you can tell, it's quite a fuck up of a triangle, and it actually gets a little bit crazier, because it turns out that Futaba's best friend, where you go? Yeah, there you go. Her best friend is actually in love with her. So and so she's a female best friend, and she's in love with her. So it's like a crazy love square in which both of the best friends kind of know that that the other person is in love with the best friend, but with their respective best friends. But the main character and the girl, they have no idea. All right, so again, this leads to a whole bunch of shenanigans. Great situations, hysterical, enjoyable, loved it. Great. So that's fine. It's fine. It's a funny situation. It's great. Here's where things kind of get off the rail, and this is when we approach the end. Closer to the end, as you can imagine, all hell breaks loose, because somebody overhears that Toma, the best friend, has feelings for the guy, and so this kind of leads to a fight in the school, and eventually the best friend confesses his feelings to Taichi, and Taichi's like, I don't know what to do, and so the best friend kind of leaves, and from that point on, he's kind of not going to school. He finds a job somewhere else, and he decides, you know what, I'm not going to go to college, so I'll barely attend school, and I'll leave and I'll start working. And so Taichi is left at the end trying to figure out, well, what the hell he's going to do. And so the final arc of the story is him trying to figure out, well, how do I feel about this declaration? It's really weird. I don't know what to do. It's in fact, I remember a particular line saying that's like my whole world got turned upside down. And it makes sense. Imagine you know somebody, or you think you know somebody, and all of a sudden it turns out that there's something that they're not. It turns out that there was something completely different to what you expected. And so it's him trying to deal with that, and the way that it's painted is him trying to figure out, like, well, he lied to me all this time. Can I still trust him? Is he still even my same friend? Is he still the same person? And so it's an interesting arc, and it's an interesting development to a bunch of plots that the manga had been dealing with throughout the entire series. Now, throughout the entire series, the concept of can men and women be friends is brought up over and over again, and more specifically is, can two people that are attracted to each other be friends, or can you be friends with somebody who's attracted to you? Can you be friends with somebody who's in love with you? And so but it's a simplified, and can men and women be friends? Because, like, well, inevitably you're gonna end up being attracted to me, and so can we even be friends? Should we even try? Stuff like that. And it's an interesting topic to consider. Honestly, it's super interesting, and it gives you have a lot of room to work with. So it's fine that they did it, and it's interesting the way they handled it. Maybe they tried a little bit too hard. And so at the end, the final arc, that thing is brought to the extreme, because it's the question is, can you be friends with somebody who's in love with you? Can you be and you're not? Can you be friends with somebody who's attracted to you and you're not? What do you do? How do you move on from there? And so the main guy and the girl, they set out to find the best friend, and the guys have a kind of like a heart to heart, and the way that they leave it in this is the second to last chapter. The way that they kind of leave the story between the two of them is the kind of in a teasing way. The guy says, like, well, they said, I don't exactly remember who says what, but one of them says, like, well, can you be friends with somebody who rejected you? Like, I don't know. Nah, I remember. Like, you have no idea how difficult it is going to be to. Can you be friends with somebody who rejected you? Because it's gonna hurt. So, and the other guy's like, well, it's not gonna suck as bad as having to be friends with the person you rejected. So it was kind of like who's got it worse, and it was like a banter thing. So you could tell in the way that they left it, okay, the friendship will continue. They both decided they were going to power through with the friendship, because the friendship was more important than everything else. And it's a nice, cute little message. And in the meantime, by the way, I forgot to mention that at one point the guy and the girl got together. So the guy and the girl got together kind of like at the halfway point. And what did I do? Okay. So they kind of got together at the halfway point of the show. And so it was like, it's a nice little cute relationship. And they again, they have their jealousy issues or whatever, but it's fine. The relationship is fine. And so the way that again, this is like, what is it? Maybe 4/5 into the second to last chapter. And that's how they leave it. They leave the guy with the girl and the best friend there, kind of like, okay, so we're going to continue being friends moving forward, because friendship is more important than all the other stuff. And because you've been a good friend throughout, all this stuff doesn't matter, everything else. And the guy and the girl, they're going to see what happens in the future. They may go to the same school or not. They may get separated, doesn't matter. But it looks like they're going to try. And so that's, if they would have left it there, you would have been like, okay, it's cute, it's okay, it's whatever. But then immediately after that, and just almost before the ending of that particular chapter, there's a heading, and it says, 2 years later, we broke up. And so you're like, huh? Okay, all right, so time skip. And he doesn't really explain why they broke up. He just says, like, oh, and there's no particular story behind it, we just broke up. And 5 years later, he kind of like met each other again. So they grew apart. So they broke up 2 years later. 5 years later, they kind of met up again because the best friend was still friends with with the two girls, and so they kind of met up 5 years later, and they kind of got things, let's say, evened out. They cleared up the air or whatever. And that chapter ends with him opening up an invitation for her wedding. And so, or, an invitation for a wedding that has her name on it. And you're like, what the hell is going on? this is a little weird. Or is this a little bit of misdirection that it's actually the guy and the girl getting married, or is he going to have to go try to stop the wedding, or what the hell's going on? And then the final chapter hits. And in the final chapter, it's all a first person view, meaning that you're seeing kind of like through the eyes of a character, and it's not exactly sure what character it is. And you're going through a wedding, and you're seeing a whole bunch of characters, the grown-up version of them, or 7 years older of them, and they're having these conversations, and you're getting caught up on what the hell happened with their futures and stuff like that. And as it keep going, he eventually meets up with the bride, and the bride is the girl again, Futaba. And she's getting married to a random dude that we've never seen before. In fact, the dude has no lines whatsoever, and so dude kind of, and you're not sure who the hell this is yet. You have an inkling of it, but whatever. Eventually, dude leaves the wedding and meets up with Taichi in the subway. And so here it's clear that, okay, so if he met up with Taichi in the subway, and we're watching in a first-person view, and based on the conversations, then this is clearly the best friend. This is clearly Toma. And so as they meet up, it turns out that there was a wedding at the same time between two friends. So there was a wedding of one of Taichi's best friends at the same time as the girl, so he couldn't go to that wedding, and he went to the other one, and they're starting to talk about, like, what the hell, like, how each wedding was. And in the end, Taichi, reaches his hand out. It's like, okay, let's go home. So the way they leave it, it's pretty clear that those two became a couple. So here I was really upset when they did the 2-year thing, because it's like you did it off screen, you broke them up off screen. Seriously, this is fucking lazy writing. But I was beyond pissed at everything that happened after that, because none of it made any sense. And they could have set it up. They had that all that final arc that I talked to you about, where he's trying to figure out, my world got turned upside down, and is he the same person that I know? Is he still my friend? Can I trust him? All of that, they could have used it to set up where he was actually questioning, kind of his sexuality or whatever, but they never set it up that way. Not even a little bit. Throughout the manga, there were moments, but it seemed more like he's awkward with somebody invading his space more than anything else. But whatever, it doesn't matter. And so to me, I was like, motherfucker. So I have a big issue with this. I hate it when you can tell that a writer forced the ending that they wanted. Like, there was an ending that was going, and it was going to be organic, and it was going to make sense, and it was fine. And that was the ending at the beach, where they decide they're going to still be friends, and the girl and him, whatever, they're going to see what the future leads. That would have been an organic ending. But whoever wrote this was like, no, I had an ending from the beginning. I wanted the other two to get together, and I'm going to force it no matter fucking how. I'm going to make it end that way. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter if it's not set up. It doesn't matter nothing. This is ending the way I want it to end, and it sucks. It makes no sense. It's like, in fact, you know what's crazy? It's like he wanted, or she, I don't even know who wrote this, because, the name's in Japanese, and it's really hard to tell. But it's like, I want both endings. I want the ending where he ends up with the girl, and I want the ending where he ends up with the guy, and guess what happens? You just piss everybody off. You just piss everybody off that way. It's you either commit to something or you don't. And so it's really infuriating. Everything happened off screen. The most interesting parts would happened off screen. What the fuck? Like, just a time skip? So you showed us, every single thing that you showed us was what, for nothing? What was I there? And so it really pissed me off. Like, not as much as another one, but the other one I was waiting a few weeks, but this is like, what the fuck are you doing? Why? Why do people do this? Why do they want to force an ending that doesn't make any sense? Like, you know what you could do? You could work towards that end. You had the opportunity. You had the opportunity to set it up, and it would have made sense if you set it up. But no, it was like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck the audience. Fuck whatever they think. I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want, and I'll end it to whatever the fuck I want. I'll just do whatever I want. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, reader, audience. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck. Those of you who care for logic and reason and setting stuff up, fuck you. We're just gonna ending it, and I'm not even gonna show you how it happened. I'm not gonna show you the most interesting part. Can you imagine somebody telling you a story like that? Like, seriously, imagine somebody telling you a story like that. So, I met this girl and she kind of has a crush on my best friend, and I'm kind of starting to get a crush on her. Anyway, 7 years later, it turns out that I'm dating my best friend now, and so yeah. Look, what? I feel like you're kind of missing a few important details there, guy. Kind of like a few, and I'll give you another example, kind of more a simpler one. So I was hanging out at the bar, and I ordered some peanuts, and anyway, long story short, I ended up being in jail for 3 months, and you'd be like, what? So, I, how the hell did that happen? So the key details there, important ones. So it's just infuriating. It's bad writing, and it already had a good enough ending. It had a good enough ending. I'm not gonna say it was great. I'm gonna say it was special, but it was good enough. Why fuck with it? Why fuck with it? Why try to? Why honestly? They really, really tried super hard to make both of them work. Then this whole, I'm gonna please everybody. No, you just pissed everybody off. Just pissed everybody off. That never works out. Stop trying it. Stop trying to please everybody. You're only gonna piss everybody off. It never works. Never works. So anyway, do I recommend this to people? It's an enjoyable read, but you're gonna be, if you care about endings the way I do, you're just gonna be pissed. Honestly, you're gonna be like, I fucking wasted my time. It has interesting moments, and again, the topic of male and female friendship is very interesting, and it's got funny moments, and again, it's set up in an interesting way. The ending just sucks. Sucks. It's brutal. It was really infuriating. The only thing that I'm happy is that it was short and that I managed to get it out of the way quickly, and so I wasn't as invested. There was another, like I said, there's another one. This is when I'm really upset because I had to wait for months. Weeks at a time when a new chapter came out, and it was like a slow, painful death because let's say the last 10 chapters sucked, right? And so it's a slow, painful death because every single chapter I'm like, no, they wouldn't do this. They're gonna fix it somehow. It's gonna be a misdirection. It wasn't misdirection. It wasn't misdirection. It was just brutally, disgustingly bad, and that's probably one of the worst endings I've ever read. This one, it's not on that level, and I'm not as upset about it. It's just sucked. It sucked, and I'm upset because it's been a trend. I just can't see something with a good ending. So if anybody out there has any good recommendations for me for a silly thing I could read that's not that crazy long, and that has a decent ending, please let me know. I need it. To be honest, I need it. Anyway, that's it for today. That's it. I'm done. There's not much more to say there. Like, I think it was pretty clear. The ending sucked. That's what I put in the title. It sucked. It's terrible. Wasted time. Anyway, as always, thank you for listening. Wow, I'm almost blanked out. That's not how I end the show. As always, thank you for listening. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, I need to double check an email because I just read the headline. But I think I have a screener for the Tomorrow War, so I may watch that today. So tomorrow, I will very likely have a review for the new Chris Pratt movie, The Tomorrow War, if you want to check that out. If I don't do that, then the Nintendo 64 anniversary happened recently, so I want to do something for that. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. Anyway, as always, thanks for listening, and I'll see you again next time.